why do we see personal differences as problems when, like Leonard Cohen says, the cracks are how the light gets in? Hi, I'm Dr. Heath. I'm a psychoanalyst. We are who we are. So why do we feel ashamed if we're different from other people? Sure, if we make mistakes, there's consequences, but there's also opportunities to learn. And if there's things about ourselves we don't like, we should work to change them. But we end up feeling ashamed just because we're different. When I'm too short or too tall, or I don't have the right thing to say. We artists know that the differences are the most important thing. Sometimes her most creative works are driven by unfulfilled needs, wishes, desires, loneliness. The most interesting art is different from anyone else's. So why feel shame? It's such an old primal feeling. It's huge. It feels much bigger than whether I have the right hairstyle or the right car or have the right thing to say. Shame can be all-encompassing, as if we're entirely flawed, just because we say something silly. It feels huge. It's as if it's a memory from when we were much more fragile. Sometimes kids feel shame. It's their way of dealing with not being cared for. Easier to blame themselves than really tolerate an awful situation. Maybe it's so awful that they really can't tolerate it. So shame is a go-to emotion when we think we're flawed. Instead of accepting the situation and our differences and figuring out what we can change about it. That's the best use of this feeling we call shame. See, people think they have to have it all together before they can really feel good, or discover something new, or find enlightenment. A guy named Maslow figured out a system to understand all that stuff that we need. He thought you have to have things like air and love before you can really create. Maybe there's some truth to that. But we've seen that you can move back and forth between these levels so that maybe in your darkest times you can discover something new. But you have to be ready to be surprised. It is like this in therapy, no? People think that therapy is about figuring things out, but no! Therapy only works when you are surprised by something within yourself. That is the real discovery. So like the folk singer said, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Find a way to understand the cracks in you so that you can see how to let the light in you. Thanks for listening. Consider contributing. I've got a link here on the screen, and I'm here on YouTube 7 Central on Thursdays. Please subscribe to my channel. See you next time.